Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. Welcome back to my podcast. It's been a minute, but I'm going to come back on here and talk more. I've been trying to have guest speakers, but I feel this spirit is like, girl, just talk about the topic. You just need to talk about it. You just need to talk about it. Okay? And allow people to come to you. I think that that's what I was doing, searching for people to make podcasts with instead of just allowing those who are meant to flow to me. So, yeah. The topic of this podcast is titled Blood is Not Thicker Than Water. Let me run that back. Blood is not thicker than water. So many times, your family will be your biggest haters. They will be your biggest bullies. They will be the people who are in opposition to you the most, even though they are your family. Even though they are supposed to love you and look out for you and support you and celebrate you and honor you, many times they're going to do the opposite. They're going to abuse you, manipulate you, violate you in any way, make up lies and rumors about you, and purposely misunderstand you. A lot of times you experience this because you are the one in your family that spirit set apart. They can see that you're different. It's a noticeable difference. You could have the same genetics, but there's something different about that DNA. Okay. There's something different about your spiritual ranking. There's something different about the way you think and the way you carry yourself. That's why your family has a problem with you, because they have to reflect on their behaviors when they're around you. They have to reflect on what they haven't done or what they haven't accomplished, because you're somebody who you're always growing, you're always developing, especially if you're on my channel. You're somebody who is committed to self-love, growth, development, having a connection with spirit and the most high. And these are the kind of people who want to have that, but maybe struggle to have it. Or it's the energy of you're who they want to be. You're who they think they are. So they get triggered by you, and then they try to project negative ideologies onto you. They try to make up these stories to make you look bad or make you seem like you are not who you are. They want to control the narrative about you so that other people won't like you, or so that other people won't find you appealing, so that other people won't see that star quality. When you're a star, your family is going to try to hide you. And I said this in my channel messages. So if you want to go to my channel messages, I have them free. They're always going to be free on Patreon. So anybody could access them, whether you are a free member or a paid member. I prefer, I prefer y'all, subscribe to my Patreon, because there are perks, but I understand finances. I get it. So, whatever you can do to support, I appreciate it. But anyways, yeah, on my Patreon, I talked about channeling the movie Tangled. And if you know that movie, she hid her. She kept her away, you know? And even to add to that, some of you could have just been hidden from your family, but there could have been something with your hair. So somebody here could have literally had their hair cut, or you could have had, for a lot of my ladies, especially in marginalized communities, perms. And people will think that perms are to straighten the hair, but a lot of times older women give you perms to mess up your hair because your hair was beautiful. And that has happened to a lot of people, because that's a spiritual attack. When somebody's attacking your hair, they're attacking your crown and your confidence. Remember in Tangled, when at the end she got so jealous she cut her hair? That's what happens. Okay, with family. You can even have family who try to take away your beauty or take away things that make you you. So that is definitely a channel message, Tangled. So some of you are here, have this star quality. There's something about you that's beautiful. There's something about you that's lively. There's something about you that's just, when you get around people, you just make them feel better. You just bring that energy boost. Like you're a positive energy booster. Like you come around and things just feel better. You're human medicine. And when your family can see this and they see how other people react to you versus how they respond to them, then they try to control that narrative and try to paint you as this person that you're not. And they try to paint themselves as the victim and you as the villain many times. So when you're dealing with a toxic family, understand that they're going to villainize you, even if you're not the villain. But let me tell you something, embrace it. Embrace it, because you have the courage to be different. You have the courage to step out and be yourself. Because when it comes to toxic families, there is this enmeshment. And enmeshment is just there is a lack of boundaries within the family. And then there's this air of entitlement. So you have family that will do you wrong, but feel like they deserve access to your love life, to your personal business, to your finances, where you work, what you do for work, who your friends are, what they do for work. Like they want to know all about you, but you're not allowed to know anything about them. Or if you do, it's very minimal. It's like when you're the one in your family that's different, they see your life as entertainment. They want to find something about you to critique because you're so different. They feel sometimes people with these kind of mindsets will feel like, oh, you're embarrassing the family, but really you are elevating your family by choosing to take a different path. And sometimes when you take a different path, people won't understand, but it's because spirit didn't give them the vision. Spirit gave you the vision. They won't understand it now, but trust me, honey, they will understand it later because time tells all. They don't understand it now, but they're going to understand it later. And I'm also channeling something here. I'm channeling. Let me get my phone real quick. Let me see. Where did I put my phone? Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so I was just trying to make sure I had the right person. So I don't never really channel these kind of things, but I'm channeling like the biblical story of Joseph and how his brothers threw him in that pit. Like I'm really channeling that and the coat of many colors. Okay, and it makes me, and it's so crazy because I'm using so many colors within this, so it's just all coming together. That's how you know spirit don't make no mistakes. But yeah, it's like you've been the Joseph in your family, the one that they cast out. But remember what happened to Joseph? Joseph became the king. Joseph became the king. So when you are in a toxic family dynamic, they're gonna count you out. They feel like if you don't use their methods, you won't be successful. You won't find a happy relationship. They feel like their way is the right way and your way is the wrong way. And it's really subjective because right and wrong are subjective and it's really due to the person. So they feel that the way you move in life is wrong and unconventional, but that's the beauty of who you are. You don't have to move like them because a lot of them are forcing themselves to stay in marriages they don't want to stay in, to stay at jobs they don't want to stay in, all for the sake of fitting in. It's like there's no true intimacy within their lives. They don't have hobbies. They don't have things that make them happy. They are just committed to playing this role. So they might as well be an actor or actress because it's like every day you get up and you're fighting your authentic self and you are coming out with this mask and you're perfecting your mask and not perfecting your originality. But that's the difference between you and your family. You are okay with being authentic. You are okay with being original and the one that may be seen as weird because you understand that you're being true to yourself and what makes you feel good. You're not trying to suppress who you are to make other people happy or to make other people like you. You're not very concerned with external validation. And that can also make your family mad because sometimes people feel like I saw this video on Instagram and there was this lady, she was saying how people will get mad at you for liking yourself because they don't feel that you should like yourself that much. So when you're dealing with toxic family and you're on a self-love journey and you're learning to love, the things that they taught you to hate. You're learning to love the self that they taught you to hate. They're going to be very upset. They're going to say, "Oh, you think you better. You think you know it all. You think you just this and that. You think you cute." All these things because they're triggered that you are turning the tables around. You're not identifying with their critiques and their criticism and their projections. You're pouring into yourself. You're allowing spirit's love to shine through you. And that could irritate people who are trying to bring you down on purpose. They don't want you to love yourself because if you love yourself, you're going to see your greatness and then you're going to go for it. A lot of times your family will see your greatness as a child and try to stop you from reaching that. So that's why they'll try to isolate you, ostracize you, talk about you, gossip about you, and put you in this role of the scapegoat so that other people won't see that you actually have gifts, you actually have talents. Like they want to create this narrative about you that you aren't who you really are, right? But the truth is always going to be revealed. It's always going to be revealed because spirit don't tell no lies, okay? Spirit don't tell no lies. It's always going to be revealed. So with family, like I feel like there's a situation here that needs to be addressed. Like even though this is a podcast, I still get channeled messages within the podcast, and I just love that shit. Anyways, I'm picking up how this has been going on in your family for years. You've been dealing with this for years, and you're getting to the point where you're about to be king. Because remember, Joseph became king. Even through the trials and tribulations, people trying to frame him, all of that, you are going to be crowned. And that is a spiritual way I'm saying it. Like you may not literally get a crown. Some of you may actually literally get a crown, but I'm saying like spiritually you're going to be crowned. Your spiritual ranking is going to increase, like as above so below, okay? You're going to see a lot of shifts in your life when you are crowned because you've done the work. You were brave enough to step outside of your family and do something different. Even if they didn't understand it or agree with it, like you stayed true to yourself. And that's just what happens when you stay true to yourself. Your family gets triggered because they feel like we're all supposed to suffer together. We're all supposed to have the same insecurities together. Like it's this togetherness, even though it's negative. And because you don't want to be a part of that, they're going to try to make you seem like you think you're better or just all these negative things. And you can't let it get to you. You can't identify with it. Stay on your self-love journey, stay on it. And the thing about this too is your family is also jealous of you. They're jealous of the light that you have. They're jealous of that freedom. They're jealous of your ability to make decisions without overthinking. They're jealous that you don't seek external validation like them. They're jealous that you have the ability to be original and still be loved and appreciated and praised for that. You have the ability to move on. It's like they'll do something to you, and then weeks later, you're still smiling, or when they see you, you just keep looking better and better. They'll hate that. And you'll have family members who they'll create a narrative about you and try to make up stories about you. Like I had a family member who I I don't really talk to her. Not really. And we haven't really spoken years, but it will always get back to me that she was talking about me and wanting to fight me and mad at me because somebody told her I was talking about her. And this is the funny thing. I'm an introvert. I've been an introvert for years, okay? I always keep really, really small circles. And if I don't have a small circle, then the circle is me. So I'm laughing because I'm like, who could I tell? Who could I tell about you when I don't talk to people, when I don't fuck with people, when I stay in my house and create, when I go to the library? Like, I'm a nerd. Like, I'm a creator, but also a nerd. I love to learn. I'm always educating myself. So I don't have time in my schedule to talk about you to somebody else. Like, make it make sense. So it would be like random things. Like it was very random because I would be like, I haven't even talked to her in a long time. So what did I do? Like I seen this post that she had and it was like that cousin that's not your cousin, and she put me, and I was just like, okay. Like remember that. Like I'm not offended by family members who personally who want to distance themselves from me. You're just making space for the people that are meant to be in my life. So that's how I look at it. And you have to understand, a lot of your family is undiagnosed. A lot of your family needs therapy. They don't know how to take somebody being true to themselves because there was once a time where they tried to be true to themselves and people judged them or laughed at them. So they created this mask, and that's on them because it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can wear that mask and people are still going to talk about you. You can't control people's perceptions by trying to fit in or make people like you or doing what you see everybody else doing. Somebody's going to have something to say about you. And then if you're authentic and you're original and you're true to yourself, they're still going to talk shit. So no matter what you do, they're going to talk. Don't allow your family's opinions to shake you and make you ungrounded. It doesn't matter. And if people believe what they say, let them believe it. That's just clearing out space for who's supposed to be in your life. Let them believe it. Whoever believes what your family thinks about you, they was already on their side anyway. They're not for you. People who can believe negative things about you at the drop of a dime, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't. Excuse my French, but they don't, because they was waiting on something to confirm the bias that they already had of you. Y'all have to understand energy, manipulation, mind games, the way people work. Pay attention, peep it. Start understanding that a lot of people don't have the same heart as you. A lot of people are not moving with love. They're moving with strategy. They're moving with transaction. They look at relationships as transactional, not fulfilling or healing. A lot of you could have family members that always have their hand out, but when you need something, it's goosebumps, it's silent, it's crickets. Or they laugh at you or go talk behind your back, but when they need help, you help them with no hesitation. You didn't go call up Annie and Sally and say, hey, so and so going through this. You just helped them. But that's what they'll do to you. So I urge a lot of you to set boundaries with your family, set boundaries with your family, and forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be taken advantage of by your family. Forgive yourself for listening to the lies and the rumors and the narratives that they created about you. First off, forgive yourself. And then when you find it in your heart, forgive them so that you're not holding these grudges of what your family did and didn't do. Because you deserve to live a beautiful life. And I talked about this on my Patreon as well in some channel messages. Grudges block your blessings. Don't allow your family to block your blessings. Don't allow them to energetically get in the way because they know what they're doing. They know that you're meant to be a star. They can see it. They can see it. They seen it before you did. That's why they created all these tactics to stop you from seeing it. It's all manipulation. That's why you have to learn that when you're a nice person, let me not even use the word nice because nice is fake. Let's say kind. When you're a kind person, right? Your your first your first instance is to project that onto other people. So when you meet other people as a kind person, you think they're kind too. And spirit is like you really have to test the waters with people because being overly kind, especially with family, will can sometimes hurt you. And it could even be life altering, okay? So be mindful of trying to be overly kind to family members who are disrespectful towards you. You don't reward disrespect with kindness, you reward that with absence. When your family is disrespectful, baby, you distance yourself. You don't try to make them see you and sending these long paragraphs and going off. Fuck all that. Because trust me, from experience, I've done that. And all it's done is it makes you look bad because people see the messages and like, oh, that's how she talked to you. I thought she was like this and that. But really, you're defending yourself. But they use that moment of you being upset to say that's your true colors when they baited you. So don't take the bait from your family because sometimes they'll argue with you on purpose to show people that you are this kind of person. They'll have your ass on speakerphone or they'll screenshot the messages and try to play it cool on their part when really they know if it was no eyes watching, they would destroy you with their words. So you really have to be mindful of fake family members. And the last thing, not only are they going to make these rumors about you and try to stop you from seeing your light, they're going to try to mimic and copy you. Okay? They're going to try to mimic and copy. And I know from personal experience. I have a family member that claims that they are spiritual, but they used to judge me for being spiritual like harshly. And put like certain religious dogma, and now they claim that they can talk to spirits and things like that. And I'm not knocking it. It's just very strange and weird to dislike a person that you're trying so hard to be like, you know? Because I'm known as the spiritual one in my family. But this person now, and I'm not saying that they can't be spiritual. I'm not saying that they can't have an enlightenment or a spiritual awakening because we all do within our own time. But it's just that that person is trying to do what I'm doing and trying to be a reader but still try to send me negative energy and evil eye. Like, honey, you don't understand how it works. You don't understand how it works. So yeah, you'll have family that try to copy you and do the same things you're doing, or you could even tell them an idea and they'll try to do it to beat you to it so that they can prove that they're better than you. All in all, they just don't want you to see your light. That's why they do these things, and they do see your light, but they hoping that you don't see it. They're hoping that you keep dimming it. They're hoping that you keep on rejecting those opportunities that God is sending your way, that Spirit is sending your way. And I use God and Spirit interchangeably, okay? They mean the same thing to me when you hear it. So just for the people that may get confused, I say it often and I use those terms because they mean the same thing to me. But yeah, they'll do these things and you just have to keep your head up and know that the right people that are meant to be in your life, that's your family. Okay? The good people in your life, the people that want to see you win, the people that are going to vouch for you at all times, the people that respect you, they respect your wishes, your boundaries, that's your family. And a lot of times the people that you create these deep connections with, they are not even in your family. It's rare. It's very rare that you're going to be super connected to somebody in your family. Like I was deeply connected with my grandma and I really really appreciated that bond, but that was it. Like I had other connections with family, but over the years like they broke off due to us getting older. But with my grandma, we had this connection that is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And like even when she passed away, it was so crazy because I had wore this red dress and I wasn't going to wear that red dress at first. I just chose that one because it was last minute, but I was going to go buy a different red dress because my grandma's favorite color was red. So my mom went to get her a white dress at first. And I was like, I don't know, grandma, I don't know if she want to go out like that. And my mom agreed. So she went back and got her a red dress. Mind you, the red dress that I was going to wear, I don't think my mom has ever seen it, right? I don't think she's ever seen it. So why, when we look in the casket of the funeral, my grandma had on the same red dress as me. She had on the same red dress as me. I was like, OMG. You know, that's how deep our connection went to even after death. My grandma still loves me, and I still see signs from her all the time. I see her name, or I'll see people who look like her literally. And that is a deep connection. So don't get discouraged because it might be that one person in your family that you have a connection with. Because my grandma didn't play about me. And a lot of people would get mad at my grandma because they felt like, oh, you picking her, she's your favorite, you always speak highly of her. But let me tell y'all something, my grandma was the only one. My grandma was the OG. My grandma was the only one who spoke highly of me. Only one. Everybody else was doubting me, judging me, making it seem like I'm not going to be anything, and trying to put this Jezebel label on me. But my grandma saw through that. When I first went to, like when I went to college, we had this thing called Forge. And it's basically like you seeing how you're going to be on campus before you get there. And it was something over the summer. And my grandma came with me. She came with me. When I was a senior in high school, I was doing a solo and parents were supposed to be there, but I didn't know my grandma was going to show up. She showed up. She sat in the front row and watched me sing. So I'ma always love my grandma. Always. Because she was one family member that I could talk to for a long time. She was a Virgo, by the way. She was somebody I could talk to for a very long time. And I love her so much. Even to this day. Like I got on her ring and I got this necklace on and I've been having it since she passed away and I'm keeping it forever, you know? And that's just a beautiful connection. I really feel like me and my grandma knew each other in a past life. I feel like we were family in a past life, so that's why we were so connected now. But that was just one person, y'all, out of my whole family that seen something in me and celebrated me. So sometimes you'll have family members that don't see your light, but you might have that one. Okay. And it might be multiple because everybody's story is different, but that's just mine. And I want to let you know that while your family may not always see your greatness, understand that God does because God is the one who gave it to you. And you may have that one family member that believe in you, but that's okay. That's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes we look at quantity, but it's you need to look at the quality versus the quantity. It doesn't matter about that. But yeah, your family are going to come up with these lies about you. They're going to try to mimic you. They're going to try to create narratives, but you have to stay true to yourself and know that there is a light inside of you. They're doing this to you because they see something in you and they don't want it to emerge. But you have to let it emerge. Even if your family is in opposition, even if they talking shit, who cares? You have to master the art of not giving a fuck. And even if that makes you look like the villain, who cares? Because damned if you do, damned if you don't. Remember, they're going to talk about you no matter what you do. Whether you have something or you don't have it. Whether you did this or you didn't do that. Like, they're going to talk. You just have to understand that their words don't mean anything. Their words don't mean anything. A lot of them don't have a pot to piss in, okay? Their words don't mean anything. And gossip is a form of witchcraft. So all they're doing is creating blockages in their life. Your tongue is powerful. It tells you that. Out of the tongue speaks life or flows life. It's something like that. And it's true. When you speak about things, you're creating life. So when they're talking about you, they're giving life to it. And it's going to come back around to them because what you sow, you reap what you sow. And when you talk bad about people and they overcome that, guess what? That energy is coming right back to you, because what goes around comes around. That energy you put out, it just came back to you. So let them gossip, because everything they saying is going to come back to them. Karma is a motherfucker. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I have a little bit of a potty mouth. A lot of people don't know that. But yeah. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to be doing more of just creating and making art. A lot of what prevents me is perfectionism. And it's something that I've had to work through for years, because when I make these videos for y'all, I want it to look nice. But if I see a little glitch, or if I see something I don't like, I'll delete it. And I have to stop doing that, because there's so much that the spirit is wanting me to share and express, and I can't keep, taking it back just because I don't feel like it's good enough. It's good enough in the eyes of God. It's good enough in the eyes of spirit. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I love y'all so much. Mwah! Peace.